all these leads that don't produce revenue for me, I'm just wasting time and putting more money into a sinking ship.
Like we just saved $1 million from last year. We increased our ROAS. I either know I'm making money on this every month or I'm not.
People don't realize if you don't understand marketing, it's so hard for your business to grow. Everybody, I want to introduce a special guest here today, a fellow digital marketer background. Going to educate a lot of people on digital marketing. He's going to help you save a lot of money. He helps contractors stop wasting their money. And he's probably one of the most legit guys at doing that in this space because he doesn't do digital marketing. He actually just guides you on where your spend's going, where it's growing, or where it's dying. Let's welcome Kevin LeSage. That's a private school me. LeSage. You
Not
don't look like
quite.
a private school guy, Kevin. How you doing, buddy? From Searchlight. Nice to see you again, man. I like that
Appreciate you,
name,
lads.
LeSage.
You know, it means
How
the
you doing, man?
wise too.
Alright.
Lesage means the wise. You gotta like
Is
that,
that what it
right?
means?
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
does
do
in
like
French. Yeah. Yep.
tell everybody who you are, brother, real fast, and thank you for making the time to come on.
Yeah, appreciate the invite, man. My name's Kevin LeSage, founder, CEO of Searchlight. We are have a focus of digital marketing with our history, but we use that experience to build a data platform, really to call out all the bullshit we see around lead quality and the value that some marketing companies are or are not delivering. So we try to make the ROI measurement very easy to understand.
Alright, so most people, the number one thing why I say a lot of companies don't grow is because the owner doesn't wanna learn marketing, right? I mean, listen, I think marketing's easy. It's been my whole life. We were just laughing. So many people think I'm a roofer or an HVAC or paint. People think I'm a home service guy. I'm like, so easily they forget is when I was leading the charge in the country of digital marketing, which I still think I'm one of the best digital marketers in the country because you just don't forget that shit, right?
That's it,
Um,
man.
but the thing is this is people don't realize if you don't understand marketing, it's so hard for your business to grow. Can you talk about that? Because I want to talk to you about marketing, what's good, what's bad, what you guys have the data points of what's working, what's not for contractors. So I want to jump into it. First, the biggest problem I see is owners don't invest their own human capital, meaning their mind. They'll invest their money, but they'll invest their time and they won't invest their human capital to learn marketing. Can you tell me what you see and why that's a problem?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest problem is there's lack of confidence in that investment, right? If you think historically about marketing, they're getting on a phone, learning about impression share and click through rate and cost per click. And my dad's a plumber. He doesn't know what the hell that shit means. He just wants to know if I'm investing in marketing, how much revenue is that actually earning my business, right? And we have over 1,500 home service contractors on our platform today. And the reality is the average data shows 60% of leads never book a job and 80% of those unique leads never buy your service. So if you're out here measuring marketing success by cost per click and cost per lead,
Say this one more time. Say that stat one more time. 60% of
X, 60% of your unique leads do not book a job. And by leads, I'm not pre-qualifying that lead. I'm saying the phone ring. You got a form submission, you got a chat. 60% of those conversions do not book a job across
when
1,500
you say book a
contractors.
job, does that mean they don't buy or they don't book an
They don't
appointment?
book. Yeah, 80% don't buy. I'll back it up with data all day long. But yeah,
No, I believe what you're saying, but do you believe that's a marketing issue or do you believe that's a speed to lead issue or a balance of both?
it always comes down to the finger pointing between marketing and operations, man, right? Marketing is
Well, I
going to
mean,
say, well,
I know for a fact I don't have that problem. Like, I
fair
can tell you
enough.
that
Yeah.
right.
Well,
Like,
I'd
I
be
can tell
curious.
'cause I would jump through the roof. Like, you see
Well,
my
let me
blood
ask you
pressure.
this, Lance. I'll flip you quick, right? I mean, just the level set. When we talk
And
about
I
a
believe
book,
you. I
yeah,
believe you
yeah.
because you have the date. I believe you. Why
But
would you
the
lie?
thing is, we look at a raw booking rate, right? So like the phone ring, did the lead book or not? And a lot of times platforms are measuring calls only over 60 seconds or form submissions that are getting entered into the CRM. So we took a step back and we integrated with every conversion tool itself, right? I'm not trusting Google Analytics. I go right to your call tracking API. I have a script on the website to see every single form. I integrate with Schedule Engine, your chat tools. So I literally see the lead as it happens on my own. And then I'm integrated with the CRM to say, this event happened here. Did it book here?
do you integrate with the aggregators also, Angie's, Home Advisors, all them?
Of course. Yeah, yeah, we pull in all your cost per
That's not
leads
now
there.
I gotta ask the question. People
Of
are
course.
listening. You say, like, you gotta educate people. That's why you're on here,
That
right? Like, you're like, "Of course it does," like, but people wanna know the facts because that I believe that stat because you know what's funny? I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, first I was gonna call bullshit. Now they know what? When I
highly
take a company over, I believe it's probably in worse shape than that when it goes to lead
dude,
the booking.
we have over
At a certain
40 private
point,
equity groups.
I was like, "Man," I was like, "This guy isn't
Dude, I mean,
bullshit."
these
Like,
are, and small, successful, I mean, you name it, they all have share this problem. Um, I think the biggest problem our industry faces today is that right there. If 60% of leads don't book and 80% don't buy, we need to be able to start defining what marketing campaigns drive high booking rates and high paying customer rates, right? Like my cost per
can you
click
do
doesn't matter.
that with Searchlight? Can you do that with Searchlight?
Course, at scale, all automated. Yeah, we integrate directly with your ad platforms, right to your Google Ads, right to Bing, LSA, Facebook, direct mail. We have APIs with all of them, your CRM, your conversion tools. And we're sourcing all that data in, normalizing it around a customer ID. And now I can back that up to customer acquisition cost, average ticket by every campaign. Overlay your business units, new versus existing customers, zip code, etc.
I mean, and the thing is this is I've obviously sold multiple companies to private equity firms, and they have the same problems the small guy has. They're trying to figure out, how do I get my I mean, well, first of all, I'm gonna tell this right now. Most marketing companies suck, and that's the truth. But I think you'd agree to that, right? Most marketing companies suck. I'm gonna say 90% of marketing companies I come across come my intern could outdo them. And that's not being rude, like, right? Like, they just have no
There's
clue.
room for improvement. Yes.
No, I'm gonna say they suck, dude. Why? Because you could go watch, and I hate to give Russell Brunson so much credit. The information he gives just with ClickFunnels. Well, you like ClickFunnels now. I don't use ClickFunnels, but it does work properly. If you just have a simple funnel to go high level, automation, chirp, whatever tools you want to use, and you actually automate your system, you're going to see that book rate go up. You just are. Like the book
100%.
rate is go up drastically, right? So all these people spend money in marketing with marketing people. So I'll give you an example, like Bradley, right? I went out, he's my buddy. We were supposed to shoot a podcast, but I just saw like pain was on his face that day. I was like, "What's up?" He's looking at his marketing stuff. I'm like, "Yo, get the podcast, dude." Like my son LJ was with me actually. I was like, "We're gonna look at your marketing stuff." We spent 2 hours, and I got the woman on the phone that runs his marketing, and she's like, "No, I got him 90 leads or 80 leads or whatever it was. I don't want to miss." I'm like,
Yeah.
"You did." I'm looking at his CRM, and his salespeople can't get in touch with any of these people. Their span numbers. She's like, "Yeah, but in Google, the conversion tool says 80." I'm like, tool isn't the real metric, and you keep going to this one tool you throws in favor
Exactly.
to you, and Brad doesn't understand that conversion tool. He only understands, "I got people in my CRM, nobody can get a hold of them, and it's 1 out of every 50 to 100." So really, for every conversion, 50 conversions, he's getting 1 lead. And can you talk about that, how Google Analytics does not tell really the story in any way except for one thing is the only thing and this is what people don't understand. If you know how to wipe out bot traffic, which most digital marketers do, right? Then you can see if your traffic is truly going up or down. But most digital marketers don't even know how to go in and filter out the bot traffic. That's a whole other conversation. But can you tell everyone why analytics is not the end all be all?
Yeah, I mean, what you just proved is what I think is like one of the scariest comments in the data industry, which is data doesn't lie. Because what you just said was, Brad is using his data, but it's actually lying to him, right? It's not accurate. And what happens in Google Analytics, and the scary thing is anyone can define what a conversion is, right? So it might not even be a phone call, form, or a chat. It might be a visit to your directions page or someone that's been on your site for longer
It
than
could be a
3 minutes.
click of a button, it could be a
Dude,
click to your button, and you
I mean,
it depends how the digital marketer sets it up.
I always say if you it's really easy to get clicks from India, but no one's going to buy your shit, right? Like you can't be measuring success by these high level clicks and visits or trusting what's in
I
Google
don't even
Analytics.
people will like all these seminars, and we can jump into this. I hope you don't mind bouncing around with my
No, please.
ADHD
Yeah,
kicking
yeah,
in right
that's me
now.
too.
Um, so, but all these seminars I go to and all these masterminds, right? They go, I want to know my cost per conversion. I want to know my cost per lead, cost per lead. And I'm like, why would you want to know your cost per lead? Why wouldn't you want to go right to Marketing Pro and Service Titan and see your revenue by source and see what sources are making you the most money? Am I wrong with that theory? Or should someone just punch me in the face and say, shut up, Lance? It should be cost per lead. Because I look at it this way, all these leads that don't produce revenue for me, I'm just wasting time in those channels and putting more money into a sinking ship. Or am I wrong? You tell me. This is
You're
what
not
you do
wrong,
every
man. Here's what I say now is you can't fake revenue, right, man? You gotta love that line. You can fake clicks and leads, you can't fake revenue. And we have some large, we have like 40 plus PE back partners now. And what the common theme I hear, which people relate to, is they're going into board meetings or going to their boss and they're talking about marketing performance and they're saying lead costs are up and volume is down. And it's a really tough conversation to have for some of these people. But do you
That's
care what
across
your
all the people know. That's across every vertical. That's why brand is so important, local. So, well, we have that conversation next. Again,
Yeah, I've got the ADD problem too. Sorry to slip what I was saying.
you said people are going to boardrooms,
Oh
leads are
yeah, yeah.
down, are up. Listen,
So
I
what I'm
pay
getting
attention
at,
when
I appreciate that. What I get at here is like they're like, oh, like if your cost per click is increased 20%, and let's just say you're paying 50 bucks a click, 200 a lead, and that's going up. That story doesn't matter if my average ticket is $12,000 downstream. The board will have a completely different shift of mindset of this investment when we're talking revenue and not some high level, easily faked KPI, right? So we have intentionally made it very easy to understand at scale what's driving revenue from your marketing down to your operations by business unit, et cetera. And that's the the glaring waste in spend is the amount of unbookable leads. You could boil this down to two things, man. Let's not make this overcomplicated. Either a lead is bookable and you didn't book it, like a quality call came in and they asked about tech to come out. There was a dispatch fee. The customer gave an objection. The CSR just didn't know what to do and hung up. Right? That's marketing doing its job. The other case is you got a call, but it was unbookable in the first place. So, like understanding your bookable versus unbookable, your qualified leads by campaign, it's immediate. There's no more guessing. This isn't art, it's science. I either know I'm making money on this every month or I'm not. Right? It really removes the ambiguity of market.
so in my company's full transparency, Kevin, there is no not booking a lead. If someone calls and the phone rings and we answer it, and like this is how crazy I am, just so you know, like you gotta book the lead. The manager has to take the lead off. So, like, if someone calls us up, no matter what it is, could be for 1 square, 2 square, could be for my type, you gotta book the appointment.
Mhm.
Now, it used to be for anything. You could have called me up for a painting job even after I sold our painting, and we booked it, and then we came 'cause I wanted to take it out of the CSR's hands, make sense?
Right,
Because
right. It
people
does.
some people
Kelly.
until we trained the CSRs and we got the right CSRs as we grew, and we got the ones that were vested and want to be here because really your CSRs dictate so much of what happens in your company. And people, it's a really overlooked
Crazy.
got like in the boardroom, instead of talking about what your cost per lead is, they should be talking about how goddamn your CSR's book rates are. How are they doing? Are we training them? Are we growing them? And most people don't. And can you talk about how important that CSR role is? Because I don't think many of your customers are probably even talking to you about that.
Dude, listen to some phone calls if you haven't coming in from your business. And like, I'm not even the business owner. I'm pulling my hair out, right? As the marketer, like the history of marketing, I hear a quality call and I'm like, oh, this is a good opportunity. And you just hear them fumble it right on the 1 yard line. Right? And you just want to be like, you want to, that's where, as the marketer, you get really upset because you're doing your job, but I'm not responsible for booking that call. I'm not responsible for going in the home. I don't do the estimate follow up, but I'm the first one to get blamed when marketing's not doing well. Right. So it's one of the reasons why with Searchlight too, we measure the total revenue coming in by campaign, regardless if you sell the estimate or not. So it's really interesting to see like, hey, looking at your total revenue, whether estimate sold or closed, might be great, but your closed revenue sucks. right? So all of a sudden, what looks like a marketing problem because your closed revenue is low, I can prove actually marketing's getting you in the door. You've got all these open estimates that you haven't sold. And that's another huge problem that's easily solved with software today. Like I'm sure you're not letting estimates sit there for 2 weeks stale, right? You're hitting those guys up
We're
daily.
on Service Titan. We are on Service Titan. I scream Service Titan through the roof. People think I own Service Titan. People think I get paid by I don't get paid by Service Titan. I don't own Service Titan. I bought the stock just like everyone else that bought Service Titan stock. And people say, "Wow," I'm like, "'Cause my businesses grow from it." Like, it's a very no, my so I'm gonna give you an example. One of the guys in my coaching group, right, really nice guy. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't put him on blast. He came to me, he's like, "Lance, I got a marketing problem. I got a marketing problem. Spend all this money on marketing." I started seeing the leads come in, started seeing his book rate was so low, and then his conversion rate of sales from people that were out there was at 5% or 7%. I'm like, "Dude," I'm like, "I never sold a roof. I'm not gonna lie to you. I never sold HVAC, never sold painting, like, never have, right? But I believe just me, myself, Lance Bachmann, would have a 30%, 40% close rate, bare minimum, by me just showing up to the job, right, wearing a good uniform, being in branded gear, which I'm very
Mhm.
big on branded gear at all times. Wear your gear, not someone else's gear. That's my opinion, right? Yep, absolutely. Um, I'm gonna be clean cut, right? I would probably hide my tattoos, full transparency, because people do judge whether you like it or not. Since I got my sleeve, people look at me differently, but I would hide my tattoos, right? And I would go into every homeowner with a fully wrapped vehicle. I would have an iPad. I'd be on Service Titan. I would talk for probably a half hour, 45 minutes before we even got into what was wrong. I would then problem solve, give a solution, come back with the objections that they handed me with a solution, and I would do my best to close, and then I would separate myself, and I would video follow up. I would do whatever it takes, and I believe I'd have a 30, 40, 50% close rate by just being that, and I know nothing about roofing, I know nothing about HVAC, nothing about painting, but yet I seem to be able to grow these companies by just giving a customer-centric experience,
That's it,
and
man.
maybe I'm
Customer
wrong.
first.
Eh
No, I agree with you.
Huh?
I 100% agree with you, man. Customer first.
And that's the whole thing, so I think people overcomplicate shit. I think marketing's the one complication where everybody wants to act like they're the expert, and that's why I have such little respect for so many people in marketing because they're not experts. They go read a few search engine. When Barry Schwartz, I'm sure you know he is, when he interviewed me, he came down, he interviewed me. Like, that's when you know you're legit. When you're speaking on stage with Facebook and Google, that's when you know you're legit. All these other guys have never done anything, right? And I'm not being disrespectful, but you don't know what you don't know for these contractors, and that's why I truly believe you gotta be with a digital marketing agency, or you better use someone like, no offense to Searchlight, I don't even consider you guys an agency platform. I consider you guys almost like digital marketing police. You're gonna let you know who the bad people are, who the good people are, just by handing them the data. Like, I'm not saying that in a bad way, Kevin. I don't want you to think I'm being
No, it
disrespectful.
works. It
I'm
works
not
the
ma
same way for the businesses too, right? It's the accountability both ways. Like your marketing might suck
that's
or
what I'm
your
saying.
operations. Yeah.
Like, I think you're more like the police, like, right? Like, you put this whole investigative thing, it's non-biased, it's just pure data, like, you have no dog in the fight. People are paying for your services no matter what the marketing result is. Like, I love that. Like, that's what I love about your product. I'm like, they got no dog in the fight, they're just giving you pure results. Like, that's what I love about Marketing Pro. Like, people don't realize, people are like, "Well, oh, it does your email thing." Don't worry about that. That's just the cherry on top. In Marketing Pro, you get their data set, and it shows you where your book sold revenue came through by source.
Mhm.
And you put in how much you spent, and it gives you back your ROI. I mean, that's pretty much what you guys do in
Just
a
more
nutshell,
auto.
correct?
Yeah, just more automated. Yes, I
Correct.
was just more automated. And there's no manual entry to our data, right? So you're not
No, there's
inputting
no
anything.
manual like, to their data easy, but you do have to put your budget into your data set still, correct?
No, no, we pull
No,
the
okay.
spend. We pull spend directly from platforms and everything. So
Alright, so
you're
that's the difference, which is nice. That's a nice thing to have. Do you guys
Yeah,
integrate with service?
yeah, I think we have like 900 customers on service type today.
Yeah, I mean, you got 1,500 customers. What does that tell you? You got 1,500 customers, 900 are 60% of them are on service titan.
Yeah, oh, trust me. I mean, we have 40 private equity backed groups. They're all on service titan. So, I mean, I have there's no discussion there, right? And to even
I mean,
back up,
well,
go ahead.
yeah, yeah.
I was
No,
gonna
yeah.
say to back up to your other point too about the agencies, like I'll raise my hand and say, like, I've been doing this for 15 years. And when I started, we would measure success by visits to a website. And then you got into the quality a little bit. And it kind of, it scales with time. I think that agencies today are doing their best with the tool sets they have. Right. If you're going out and optimizing a campaign to the tools in Google Analytics, you're not going to do that good because you're using time on site and bounce rate. Right? But if you integrate with SearchWriter, if you get revenue
Nobody
to
can
improve.
tell you what bounce rate is anymore. Like, no one could even tell you what bounce rate means anymore. Is it time on site? Is it I don't go to so many pages? How long I am? You ask 20 different people what bounce rate is, you'll get 30 different answers from 20 different people.
It's funny, I've even used said that KPI, it feels like in years, because I just don't think it matters. Like, people might convert on a landing page very quickly. They might visit a couple of different pages and convert. All I want to know is what did I spend, what did I earn, and where was the drop off in between?
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us today. I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Service Titan and Rilla, our technology of choice to helping us scale and grow our business and making sure all of our viewers have the technology to scale their business so when they want to sell it, they're able to.
Right? And how do I improve getting the customers to that next stage? So if they book and they cancel, let's address the cancellations. If we're getting estimates but not selling those estimates, well, what can we put in place to make sure that we're following up with these? Because I'll go crazy when I'm like, what's this $200,000 job you've had sitting here for 2 weeks? And they're like, I don't know, man. I emailed them 2 weeks ago. I never heard back. I'm like, what? Like, I'd be at that house with
Well,
like warm cookies to sell that job or something. You know what I mean?
well, the problem is salespeople love the one they're with, not the one they were just with. And that's the truth. But it's your job to put automation in place or have a rehash team. And like what
Mhm,
happens is salespeople will say to you, I hate a rehash team. Of course you do, because a rehash team will make you not be lazy,
mhm.
right? And people are like, I'm not lazy. I'm not. Well, if you're not following up with people, so I try to explain to people, Service Titan just came out, Pantheon, and said the average customer home show, meaning I come to your house, it costs me about $2,000 for most companies to show up to your door. By the time I pay for gas, vehicle insurance, office, all in, meaning not just cost per lead, meaning all in to get you there for a financial investment, right? Because there's
Yep.
more to it than just cost per lead. People do not understand that,
100%.
right? There's so much more to it, right? So I figure HVAC is about 2,000, they said. Roofing, I figure me and R were talking. He asked me, I said, we're probably about 1,000 to 1,200 all in, truthfully, R, right? That means every time someone's going out, it's a $1,200 investment, right? Or 1,000. I have to look at that close rate of those people and decide who I'm sending out, and sales training has to come in. And
Mhm.
marketing, people don't realize there's so much more to it than just cost per lead. I better know the sources of it's producing me revenue versus the ones that aren't, because I'm going to take my money and dump it into the sources that are working for me. Now, the point of this is I go out, I meet a homeowner, they're interested, they tell me want to get two, three bids, and you don't follow up because I actually was on a podcast with someone yesterday. He's like, I knew I wasn't getting the job, so I never followed up. And I was like, God damn, that's the wrong mentality. Like, I think I'm getting every job. That's just me. Like, I think, like people ask me what do I get nervous when my sons wrestle. I'm like, no, I think they're gonna win every match. No matter who they're against, I believe my sons are gonna win every time my football team's 0-6, all 6 games, I thought I was gonna win every game. And we're
Love it.
0-6. But
Yeah.
that's just my mentality, right? But if your mentality isn't that to follow up and close the deal, I gotta have a rehash team that's going to do that. And I gotta have automations in place that are gonna help with that, because if not, I just got a boat that's just leaking out cash nonstop. And you don't care normally as the salesperson because you're gonna make your two to $400,000 a year no matter what. So you're good with that. But all the money you left on the table comes to get ripped right out of my bottom line.
Mhm.
That's why I think there's such a big disconnect between operations, marketing, sales. I don't think all incentives for all 3 of those channels are equal for most companies. Are you talking about that with your PE firms or your
Yeah, we
smaller
have to.
contract?
It's funny, we've had, like, confrontational debates with clients because 'cause they're like, "Kevin, we hired you to tell us what's happening with marketing, and you're telling us it's not a marketing problem, it's a follow-up problem." Because I can see that they're not closing millions of dollars of estimates. It's very obvious in our data. So, the CMO brings on all the GMs from all the locations, and she's like, "Do not talk about the operation." I'm like, "I can't, I have to." They finally listen. They adopt a follow-up tool like Chirp or whatever it was, millions of dollars to their bottom line the next month simply with estimate follow-up, right? If you're not doing that, that's one of the biggest leaks in your business guaranteed right now. I didn't even think of the $2,000 for every visit. I always say you spend the money on the lead, then you pay for the tech to go to the home for an hour and do an audit, and then you trip on the finish line if you're not following up. Right? You're not even protecting your marketing investment. And then at the end of the month, you're pissed off because your revenue's low and you call your agency to cancel them because you want to blame marketing. But the reality
Oh,
is
listen,
you
people
got an
change their
estimate.
market like underwear, Kevin. They change their
Dude.
listen, I the day I sold one SEO was, like, the best day besides having children. Like,
Know
honestly,
what you mean.
I
Getting
know,
off of
like, I
that.
sold because, like, like, I can remember getting fired by customers I was killing it for. I saw
100%.
phone calls were up, inbound leads were up, everything, like, the metrics are there, like and I'm like, "Yo, what happened to your 900 unanswered fucking calls this month?" Like, what about that? "Well, we couldn't get to those." You had 900 and I'm like, "Yeah, but we got this report saying my alt tag is not there." Are you kidding me? You're alt like, they don't even read alt tags yet, like, what are you talking about? Like
What is an alt
like,
tag? You don't even know what that is. Yeah.
what I mean, but the point being is,
I get it.
like, that's how like, you can run Google's site through a tool, and they'll tell you problem, Yahoo, everything. It's just all the things that the smoke and mirrors, and I just got tired of it. I was just like, "Man, like, it was the best day of my life," because I was like, "This like, you're crushing it for people and you get terminated, and then you get someone that you're struggling for, just Murphy's Law, and they're like the most loyal customer to you, and they'll stand by your side." And you're like, "I should be fired.
It's
I
crazy,
should be
man.
fired."
That feeling you're describing of selling one SEO we had at Searchlight when we started as that's what we like. We're good at marketing. We started as an agency and found the attribution problem. And when I had a client say to me over years, like after a while, he's like, "Wow, Kev, you're solving an industry problem, not a Searchlight problem." And that was the light bulb, and I was like, "Wait a minute, man, if I can get out of this daily lead marketing grind and build a data platform, that sounds a lot more attractive." Because you're absolutely right, man. It's and I see it with clients. They'll plug in 4 or 5 agencies a year, and they'll maintain the same operational mistakes and always wanna point fingers. So, the biggest lesson for anyone listening is the accountability works both ways. Really
It's
does. You
well,
need a
for
good
me,
partner.
I'm so fortunate now that I don't wanna use the word "I made it" 'cause it sounds so arrogant. Now it makes no difference. I don't have no dog in the fight, and I'm like, "You're gonna fire your 3rd digital agency, but you're gonna keep the same CSR you had for 20 years that sucks, that takes a 2-hour lunch break, that doesn't answer the phone, that's smoking cigarettes every 20 minutes outside." She's not your problem, though, or he's not your problem,
Yeah,
right?
crazy. One of the
And I'm
best
not
things you
saying
can.
listen, I'm not yeah, like, I'm not sticking up for every digital agency out there because I know a ton of them are garbage. Like, I know that, you know that, Kevin, but people think going with the cheapest person gets you the maximum results. That's not true. Normally, what happens is you went with 2, 3, 4 cheapest people and you're burnt and you got burnt and you got nothing from it. And now you're even more burned out and you're more not trustworthy because you never just went and hired a legit digital agency.
It's fair. Yeah. I mean, you're doing such a good job of protecting that marketing investment when you say we don't miss a book call. We have an estimate follow-up campaign, a drip campaign set up, right? So like if every contractor was set up that way, marketing as a whole would be elevated. Right. But there's just so much there's waste on both ends with the marketing and with the operations, man. We're listening to calls with AI now telling us if they're bookable or not and really getting into it. And there's so many bookable calls coming in where, I mean, you know how this is, maybe not with your team, but when you buy a business, you listen to some of
No,
those
it's still the
calls.
same. My team has problems too. I tell everybody, like, I don't live in fantasy land. We're trying to make things better constantly. Absolutely.
Yeah,
My
oh, yeah,
team,
and you the
we
one of
got
the
to fix
best things
things.
you can do is invest in a good CSR because it's your first touch point with the customer, right?
CSRs, sales training, CSR training. Um, you know, make sure you're on the right CRM.
Mhm.
Obviously I'm pro service writing just because who I am. Has gotten me a lot of success. But listen, that's not your jam, then you gotta go, but you gotta use something, right? There's people still out there
Yeah,
on pen and paper, right? Like,
that's my dad.
there's people out there. No, I see that. I
Oh,
know, but you
yeah.
know what? If your dad doesn't want to build his business to sell it, and listen,
Oh, yeah,
you
no.
know, I was listening to a podcast, I forget what it was, and the guy said, some people just want to have 3 or 4 employees, go make four or $500,000 a year themselves, and it's a good life. And I thought about that when he said that. It wouldn't be for me, that life. But I was like, man, that really is actually a good life. If somebody just go, it's hard to go make four or $500,000 a year. It is somewhere. It is. But you own a business. You have four, six, five people. They're probably all your friends if they're still working with you, or you're friendly with them. You get along with them. So it's a small little family unit, right? And they're probably going to be with you for a really, really long time. And you're gonna have steady, consistent work. You're probably not gonna work 15 hours a day too often. You're probably gonna be a lot of your kids' shit, and you made four or $500,000 a year. And I thought about that, and like, you're gonna have a ton of stress either way. You have stress whether you're 4 or 500, or whether you're doing 100 plus million like me a year, right? Like it's stressful either way. But I was like,
100%.
man, you know what? Maybe I did get it wrong, but hey, listen, I'm in this boat now, so we're gonna keep going with the boat I got, right? But I was like, that makes sense, because everybody wants different things. So when you're talking about your father just being a plumber on paper, is your dad happy?
Yeah, I mean, what you just described, I mean, well, the crazy thing is the perspective, right? Like, when I was born, my dad told me he was making $3.50 an hour plumbing for some other guy, right? He worked for that guy for 20 years and built that guy's business and got nothing for it. One day, he just sold the business, walked away from it, and my dad had to figure it out, and that's when he started his business, right? And it's just what you described. It's just him and my brother, and they don't do any marketing. My dad's motto is "Nothing new after 2." You say 15 hours a week. He's a lot less than that. But, yeah, man, he's happy. The thing is he's got his book of he's dude, yeah, he's got his low prices, he's got his niche carved out, right? And, he just does his thing all day, man. He's got it dialed
Your
in
brother,
some ways.
your brother, your brother's probably making $200,000, $300,000 a year.
No, no, I doubt that, no. No.
Is
They're
he
just
making?
2
Is
guys.
he making?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, it's my dad and my
Okay.
brother in Connecticut, and, I wanted to wrap his van with Dan Antonelli, and my dad's like, "I don't want more phone calls." I'm like, "Oh my god, is the marketer all going crazy?" You know what I mean? But, I mean, it's pretty cool. He's an old school plumber, and that was, like, the driving force behind Searchlight. I used to he'd drag me to the job sites every weekend to clean copper fitting, so I got a lot of respect for it.
This is the thing I say to everyone, because people ask me this question, Lance, what would you say to people that don't want to advertise? Or I'm not going to say nothing to them. And they're like, what? I'm like, I'm not going to say nothing to them. My job is not to sell you on changing your behavior. My job is, if you want the outcome, I'll show you how to go get the outcome. Like, that's my job. But my job's not to tell people you're doing something wrong if you're not advertising. You're not doing something wrong if you're not growing your business. There's nothing wrong with those type of lives if that's what you want. I have a lot of respect for people like that because they know who they are. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is what I want. And yeah, I want to be home by 2, 3 o'clock. I'm assuming you guys are gonna have kids soon. You or your brother, right?
Oh, I mean, I have kids. Yeah, I mean, the cool thing is when my one brother works with me, my other brother works with my dad, so we're all in the game one way or another.
And you guys
Yep.
have kids?
I do, yeah, I have 5 and a 7-year-old.
I'm sure your dad probably spends a lot of time with those kids.
Every week, yeah, exactly, man. 100%. Yep. I've never had a
Like,
stronger relationship with him now too, you know what I mean? Because he started a business, he got some free time, he's making more money than he ever has, he's happy, man. You know what I mean?
and that why change that? Like, that's where I go with that. Let's jump back into Searchlight, and I hope you don't mind me
Oh,
putting you on
please.
the, 'cause I think people really gotta understand here, 'cause I I do believe that people waste probably 90% of their marketing dollars. Not on Searchlight, I'm just saying overall, because think about this. 60%, 50%, 70% is being wasted with you. Imagine the people that don't have the digital marketing police watching them.
Fair
No, yeah,
enough.
I'm not,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think insult,
No, I
like,
like that.
that's
I
what I
like that. No, yeah, it's fair.
like, like, I'd be like, like, if someone like, if I still in the agency and someone said, "Yo, I'm putting Searchlight on," I'd be like, "Everybody better make sure your shit's tight because you're gonna be exposed, right?
That's
Real
the
fast, right?"
it's truth. Yeah.
But so here's a question for you, right? You come from a trade background, your dad's a plumber, you come up with Searchlight. I'm just a typical roofer, plumber, HVAC guys. I mean, home services will pretty much listen to my podcast. Some other entrepreneurs do too, right? What would you say to them? Because like people think installing Searchlight is so difficult, which I know it's not. I know I understand how the tagging system works, but can you explain the process of it? Because I think your product's a good product. I dig the product, and I think people should be using it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we are going to get a direct integration, read-only access to your ad platforms and your conversion tools. And keeping this high level here, we can hold on to your names and the campaigns you're clicking when you're coming to the website and converting. And then we're just
You
scanning
set
your.
all the stuff. They don't have to. You set it up. You
Oh,
just
of
got to
course,
get
it's just a
reader.
white glove service. Yeah, I need a 15-minute phone call. Give me your tenant ID out of service titan or an API key for whatever you have. I need some basic setup, like some sort of call tracking, right? We can't be sending smoke signals trying to get leads here. So like, yeah, I get access to the call tracking. I tag 15-minute call. You're up and running in 2 weeks. We have a training team because like for us, our success hinges on confidence of the data, right? Everyone gets access and they're like, why is this different? What does this mean? So we hit that shit head on every time. And we're an open book to our logic and how we get to our KPIs and we built confidence. After that, you have support available. So if you're not comfortable with the data, if you need help, what they're looking for is support. They want to understand where their investment's going. I can knock that out of a park in a 15, 20-minute call with any business owner on our platform, and they leave educated. They're making smarter marketing decisions. It's not uncommon for someone to email me and say, "Hey, with this, like we just saved $1 million from last year. We increased our ROAS by $1 million from PPC with some of the adjustments."
Tell people what ROAS is, please, Kevin. Just so not everyone
Fair,
knows what it is, please.
fair. Return on ad spend. So I spend X and I earn Y.
Okay. So if I spend $10 and I bring $100 in, I 10x my it's a 10x
100,
ROAS, correct?
100% correct. Yep.
I'm just trying to make it and that's the data we're talking about. You need to have. You need to know these data points, people, because that's why companies grow, why companies don't grow. And, you know, Kevin, I talk about people and people ask me to talk on stage all the time. No one question I get is like, why does so many of your companies grow so fast? I was like, 'cause I don't look at the widget that I'm selling. I know I'm a sales, marketing, recruiting, technology company. Do you agree with that, Kevin? Like that's like you're
And
not Searchlight's not a technology company. You're a sales organization. You are a sales organization. If you do
we that
not
build
sell people,
software. Yep, 100, just
huh?
like you guys. Yeah, we're you guys are sales org that does roofs. We're a sales org that does software, right?
And I have no problem saying that. Like I'm a sales organization. LP Capital is nothing more than a sales organization and we want to give a five-star customer experience to everything we do. So if we're helping you with Service Titan Consultant, if we're helping you with our coaching group, our Winner Circle coaching group, if we're doing a roof for you, whatever it is that we're in our businesses, the customer five-star experience touch point, white glove service, we believe we execute on that and we deliver a high value back to you. You're going to stay with us and continue to do business with us. And I just think if you understand through that, you're gonna grow as an organization.
You don't always have to be
I think you
selling. Yeah, you don't always have to sell product. For us, I love selling value. Like even if we're not making money after the sale, right? Like there's nothing more for me to sell, but I want to get on the phone. I want my team to get on the phone with clients and they have our clients hang up the phone and say, "Holy shit, I just learned more about marketing in that 1 hour than I ever have before." So like when we're
yeah,
hiring people,
but you think you're not making money off of that, but what's the number one way you get referrals? It's the
oh,
domino effect. What's the
100%. I mean, dude,
ripple effect away?
that's I mean, we had the world-class software, but our customer service is better. Right? Any of my clients can text me, call me, and they know I'm right there. And I get on the phone with their agency. I get in their analytics. We can help pull it apart. We can help them understand it. And that's the difference, right? We're a data company built by marketers. So it's a
I
different
like
shift there.
that. We're a data company built by marketers. I like that. Final question, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Well, I have 2 questions for you, if you don't mind. Is that cool?
This
Alright. If somebody doesn't understand what's going on with their marketing, is that your type of customer or no?
yes,
Like, I'm spending 30,000 a month, 20,000 a month, $10,000 a month. I don't know what your
ideal
minimum is
customer.
for that's your ideal customer?
Yeah, you're spending X and you don't know what you're getting for it. That's where we step right in and make that easy.
I like that. I mean, shit, that's 90% of the people listening to this thing.
And
I
I
do
can
like that.
prove it in
I
a
do
15-minute call. I mean, if you you've never even seen the product. If we got on and in 15 minutes, you'd see you'd see what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't be lying to everyone. I never seen your product. I watched videos of your product, so
Sure, sure.
I watched the videos. But Bill Rizzel's a big fan of your product, and I trust Bill.
Yep.
So he's a big fan of your product.
Yeah, Bill,
I
Bill
use
was
Marketing Pro as Marketing Pro, as as my gospel. Like it's been great to me. It's been a great KPI to me. I think it's very, very I don't want to use the word basic and sold it, but it is basic and it's very hard to get an old dog like me to change a report that works for me. Do I gotta manually go in and put our spend in every month? Yeah, but that takes my guy here 20 minutes. Make sense?
yeah,
That'll
and I
take some
mean,
long to go.
I mean, I respect everything you're saying, and I'm a huge fan, right? Like, our biggest accounts are using Service Titan as well. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're using your product with Marketing Pro and you're just making it even better, right? Um,
But
you
yep.
know, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, how would they get in touch with you, Kevin? Just to talk, because I think there's a lot of people listening to this that just, you know what, Kevin seems pretty sharp. I just want to know what's going on. But you really got no dog in the fight. You're not a digital agency no more. You
I'm not
can't even
gonna
do their
even if
marketing.
you ask me to run your ads, I'm gonna say no. Um,
So you're gonna get somewhere else. So like you're like like you are almost like the most neutral. You're not a Republican. You're not a Democrat. You don't even vote. You're like I love it. Like you don't even like you're the most neutral guy you
so
come
right,
to this fair, right?
it's
Like that.
true.
Like to me, like know what you should do, and this is what I would do if I was you. I would charge people $200 or $500 just to audit their shit because you got no dog in the fight. You're gonna get bananas opinion. This way, you're not just wasting your time for free, but hopefully, they come on the searchlight and they use you to monitor whoever they hire next. But how do they get a hold of you, brother?
Yeah, Kevin at searchlightdigital.io. I'm not scared of it. My cell phone is 860-751-8285. If you want to learn about your marketing or you want it to improve, call me, text me. I'll be right there. I'll get my hands dirty and we'll figure it out.
All right, I love it, Kevin. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, Lance.